Hello and welcome to Memco TV. I am Memco. Hope you guys are doing amazing. It's been such a long time. Today we're going to talk about how to come into your own. As a 20-something-year-old woman, of course, I've had so many experiences. Ultimately, what those experiences have done is make me come into my own. It's made me grow, it's made me evolve, it's even challenged some things that I thought that I knew about myself. And so I'm just going to share a few tips that I've learned over the years, things that I'm even still working on, on my own, because, you're never perfect and adulting is a scam. So the first thing that you need to do to come into your own is to know that you are not your accomplishments. Again, you are not your accomplishments. Now, as an overachiever, recovering overachiever here, I find that to be the most important thing, right? Because life ebbs and flows. There are times where you're here, there are times where you're there. And if you continue to rely on feeling good about your accomplishments, or only feeling good when you feel like you're accomplishing things, when you feel like you're succeeding, when you feel like you're at the top of the ladder that you've set for yourself, what that is going to do is it's going to make you easily sink, right? In the times when things are tough, in the times where you're just going through one test or the other, you're going to be like nosedive, like crash. And this is all because you were your accomplishments. I'll be very honest, I only feel good when I do good work. I came to realize that about myself. And so when I realized it, I was like, oh my gosh, like this has to change. I have to not equate my worth and my value, my self-worth. I have to stop equating that to how much work I'm doing, or how accomplished I'm feeling in that moment. And so it's something I'm still working on, but I just want to remind you that you are not your accomplishments. And that way, when things go down, you know that it's just a time for you to sort of buckle up, double up, and put in even more work so that you can achieve your dreams. As opposed to when things go down, you sort of start beating up yourself and you just get into this whole cycle of blaming yourself. No, you don't need that. Understand that you are not your accomplishment, okay? All right. The second thing that I want you to know as you come into your own is that you have to be very, very selfish with your time. Be very selfish with your time. Know who you're giving your time to and why. Right? People say be selfish with your time, but nobody really tells you know why you're giving your time to whatever people, whatever sets of friends, whatever people, relationships, whatever interactions. Why are these people worthy of your time? Why are you able to spend time with them? Why do you value them so much? Understand that why, so that you actually know, what you're getting out of those relationships and what you're giving, right? Because it's a two-way street. But first of all, you have to understand, why do I feel comfortable giving X and X and X my time? When you begin to analyze that, then you easily see who is worth your time and who is not worth your time. But overall, just be very selfish with your time. When I was much younger, I used to give my time, waste my time is what I'm going to frankly call it. I used to waste my time on so many interactions that in the end did not benefit me, or in the end are sort of nowhere to be found, right? So be very, very selfish with your time and know why you're giving your time to whoever you're giving your time to. Be very critical about it too. Like, you really need to. This is something that you're never going to get back. Like, I can't get back my early 20s. It's one thing I wish I knew earlier, and that's why I'm sharing this with you. Be selfish with your time. Know who you're giving your time to and why. Number 3, be critical of yourself, but not overly critical. I am a walking critic of myself. Like, there's nothing you can tell me about myself that I don't already know, because I'm always working to improve myself. I'm always working on myself. I'm always trying to be better. But I realized one day, like, is this really, really healthy? Like, to be honest, this desire of always wanting to be better, like, when am I going to be content with who I am right now, right? I'm happy with myself, but when am I going to just allow myself to enjoy, whatever period I find myself in, as opposed to always wanting to be better, always wanting to reach for the next thing? So that stems from me being critical of myself, and sometimes a little too critical. So that's why I'm sharing with you now. You don't want to be too critical of yourself. You want to be able to, sort of relax, step back and enjoy the fruits of your labor. You want to be able to enjoy every season that you find yourself in, right? You don't want to always be chasing for the next thing. So be critical of yourself, keep yourself accountable, always review yourself, always evaluate yourself. Actually, I read something some days ago that said every day at the end of your day, ask yourself, what did I do? What could I have done better? So even if you're not able to do that every day, try and do it every now and then, where you just ask yourself, how am I doing? Really take stock. That's the word I was looking for. Take stock of your life. Just be honest with yourself, basically, but don't be overly critical. When you find yourself sort of driving yourself over the edge, pushing yourself, push yourself, yes. Push yourself out of your boundaries too, yes. But when you find yourself just not accepting your now, celebrating your now, or even accepting your struggles and being like, you know what? I realize that's a struggle and I'm going to be better, right? As opposed to, why can't I ever do this right? Why can't I? That's being too critical, because now you start weighing yourself down, So also talk kindly to yourself, right? Because when you become too critical, when you become overly critical of yourself, you start saying negative things to yourself and it all seeps into your mind gradually. Maybe I shouldn't say be critical of yourself, maybe be aware. Yes, that's probably the better word. Be self-aware, take stock of yourself. What's that word? Appraisal, right? On your jobs, like there's that appraisal moment. So sort of do a self-appraisal, but don't be overly critical of yourself. All right, so the next point is explore your interest, right? So I've been an entrepreneur since I was 19. I didn't even accept that I was an entrepreneur until in my early 20s. But what I was doing from 19 was basically exploring my interest. I was honing my skills. And eventually they all came together and developed into this business that you see right now. But that all started because I stepped out to explore my interests. Beyond that engineering student, that nerdy engineer, running around campus, I was passionate about other things. I was making accessories with African fabric with my friend, and we started an Etsy store, and it grew. And then eventually, we added more things, and I had to end that chapter. Explored Memco, writing articles, blogging, taking pictures, styling, working with clients all over the world, now doing interior styling, interior decor, building websites, doing YouTube videos, creating content, helping business owners grow their business. All of that started from me just taking one step. I just wanted to grow one skill, and one skill, it was my writing really that sort of started everything, and one skill rippled into another, and gradually I brought in all my talents together. And that's why Memco is just so much more than, when I was a stylist, it was so much more than just a styling brand, because I have so many talents and I'm always trying to see how I can grow them. And you have interests as well, right? You may be interested in one thing, grow it. You may be interested in more things, grow it. Whatever amount of talent you have, find how you can work on it. Find how you can just grow in your skills. Find how you can explore your hobbies. Do you like to bake? Okay, sure. Just set one day aside, maybe on the weekends, and just bake. That is your interest. That is something you love doing. Do you love to cook for people? Sure. Why don't you invite your friends every now and then? Just prepare a little dish for them and make yourself happy. Do you love, maybe consulting? Why don't you go and help small businesses, figure out what their purpose is and, revise their business strategy. Whatever it is that you like doing, you have to know you don't always have to monetize it, because there's this crazy thing going around where it's like trying to make everyone an entrepreneur. No, you don't have to be an entrepreneur. And I'm saying that because that is probably what puts pressure on people, because when you start thinking of the money part, right, it can weigh you down. You might start being stressed. But there are things you might just enjoy doing just for yourself or for other people. It doesn't have to be a business. It can be a hobby. Explore those interests, and wherever they lead you to, they lead you to, but you would never know if you don't start. And that's why I'm trying to encourage you that part of growing into yourself is taking that leap. Take that leap, explore your interest. If you love writing, find magazines and pitch them and say, hey, I love to write. Can I contribute articles? Before you know it, you have a column. So explore your interest, because that's truly how you grow, right? I wouldn't be this person that I am if I did not start exploring my interest by making accessories. That was like the first thing I started doing. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't really have all the skills that I have today. You don't lose anything by exploring your interests. Instead, you stand to gain so much because you put yourself into something that's going to make you grow, something that's even going to serve your community and serve others. One thing you don't know is that by stepping out and exploring your interests, you encourage someone else to do the same. I can't even count how many people have been inspired by my journey to start something. Like, I see them popping up every day. I'm like, yep, you go girl, you go dude, But I've inspired my friends. I've inspired even people that I don't know to believe in themselves again and find something they like just because I stepped into my calling and explored my interests. So do the same. Explore your interest. Another thing that you can do to help you come into your own is, drum roll, find someone to hold you accountable. I was talking to my friend the other day and we're like, why is it that on your job you're like 100, but for your personal things you're like, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. Or, we're talking about helping people, right? If it's doing something for someone, we're like, yep, we'll do it, we'll get on it. But to do something for ourselves, we're like, yeah, I'll do it another time. What that shows is that we perform better when we have someone that's holding us accountable, right? Whether it's your boss at work, that makes you accountable. Whether it's your family, your parents, they hold you accountable. And so you can find someone, right now we have social media, so you can meet people, that sort of in the same interest, someone that maybe does something you do, or someone that doesn't even do what you do, but that person would be good to hold you accountable. Your friends can hold you accountable. Your spouse can hold you accountable, So find someone to hold you accountable, because that is really how you're going to grow, because eventually that person begins to know where you're trying to go and they can chip in and give you valuable input to guide you. And honestly, like, those are the best tips or strategies, the one that just comes to someone in passing. Like, oh, I remember the other day you were meant to do this. Okay, did you do it? And you're like, no, I was struggling because that person is not emotionally invested in that thing, they're going to have an idea very randomly and they'll share with you, and it is going to make the difference. Finding someone to hold you accountable would not only help you achieve those goals that you're trying to meet, but can be a source of valuable input, right, to help you grow. So find someone today that can hold you accountable. Friends, if you're watching this, I'm going to come for one or two of you because I need to do better, okay? Another thing you can do to help you grow into your own is to grow in your faith. Faith is super important. Like, I cannot stress this enough. No matter what you believe in, faith is what the substance of things hoped for. Like, across the board, trust me, that definition of faith in the Bible, it is true. Because how do you have faith when you haven't seen something happen, right? So whatever it is that is your source of faith, growing in it would help you weather the storm. Because trust me, the storm comes. I don't want to say the storm is coming. I don't want you to be scared, but storm comes. It is the reality of life. We go through trials and tribulations, life ebbs and flows. We didn't set it up. There's nothing we can do about it. So the best thing you can do is to sort of have this, should I call it a safety blanket? No, let me call it an assurance. Have this assurance, right? Something that gives you that hope, that faith, that no matter how tough it gets, things will be better. Things will get good again. That is what my faith does for me. It gives me hope. Even when I despair, even when I'm super angry, even when I'm like, why are things going this way? Because I, as a Christian, have God, I am able to weather the storm a little better than if I did not have any faith or belief system. And I know some people don't have a faith or belief system, and I feel like that is still a faith, right? So whatever it is you believe in, grow in your faith and let it build you, let it strengthen you, let it help you see that the sun will rise again. So the next thing you can do to grow into your own is to understand that people will judge you and some people will not like you, and that's okay. People will judge you, people will not like you, and that is a-okay. Remember, you don't like everyone, right? When people bother, like, oh, this person doesn't like me, this person, but you like everyone, you don't. So why are you bothered that someone doesn't like you? Make it make sense, okay? So understand that that is part of life. And to grow into your own, you cannot be deterred by people not liking you, people judging you, people feeling some type of way about you. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. You just keep living your life, okay? And try as much as possible to surround yourself with good people. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you're trying to grow into your own, maybe hanging out with people that make you overspend is not the way to go. If you're trying to grow into your own, maybe constantly having people that pressure you to go to places you don't want to go, where you end up spending more than you can afford. Meanwhile, they can afford those things, but you sort of have to go overboard. Maybe those are not the people for you. Okay, so it's okay if people don't like you, but also make sure that you do yourself that favor by surrounding yourself with your people. That is what makes a difference. Once you have your people, it doesn't matter who does not like you. It doesn't even matter who likes you, right? Because you have your people and because you know yourself, you will always be able to stay true to yourself. That is when you know you're on the right path. Self-actualization, it is another level to unlock. To get to the point of self-actualization where you do you and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, yeah, that's the goal. It doesn't matter who likes you, it doesn't matter who does not like you. Find your tribe, find your people, be good to them, right? Because I think right now in society we emphasize, oh, people are shitty, people are bad, people are this. Are you a good person? Are you good to other people? It's not just about taking. Who are you to people? Are you a good friend? Can people trust you? Can people confide in you? Basically, can someone lean on you the same way you want to be able to lean on other people? Fine, if you don't have these qualities, are you willing to learn? Are you willing to sort of improve yourself, right? Because if you blame the world, blame, and then you are nothing to write home about, then why are you complaining, right? So build yourself, be a good person, be kind to people. Kindness is still a thing, yeah, it's still important. And ultimately, if people don't like you, that's up to them. If people judge you, that's up to them. Don't even go around seeking opinions like, oh, what does this person say about me? What does this person think about me? Why? Why are you wasting your time? How is that going to add value to your life? It will not add value to you, trust me. So it doesn't matter whatever people's opinions are about you. You don't have to go campaigning for people to like you or campaigning to hear what people are saying about you. Live your life. Be so busy living your life. Be so busy growing yourself that you don't even have the time to pay attention to what people are saying about you. This next one is my favorite. Be comfortable with being alone. As you can see, I said that with my eyes closed. Be comfortable with being alone. I find that a lot of adults are not comfortable being alone. I'm going to jump into relationships for a second. There are some people who have never not been in a relationship. I'm not talking about if you had a consistent relationship. I'm talking about from one person to the next and to the next and to the next. What you're doing is trying to fill up your emptiness with another person's attention. And in the long run, it doesn't pay off. Be comfortable with being alone. Even friendships. It's good to have great friends, but do you have to be in your friend's house 24/7? I don't think so. Do you have to be over at your friends every weekend? I don't think so. So even if it's not physically being present with a significant other or with a friend, just in your mind space, are you comfortable being alone? Are you happy when you're spending time on your own with yourself, by yourself? Because trust me, those are the times that you're able to grow. Those are the times that you're able to introspect. Those are the times that you're able to sort of analyze your life and audit yourself. But if you're not comfortable with being alone, you're always surrounded by noise all around, distractions that you don't need. Be comfortable with being alone so that, let's go back to relationships, even if in life you don't end up with somebody, you're happy. You're genuinely happy because you don't need to be attached by the hip to anybody. So growing into your own means being comfortable and being okay with the reality that if you don't end up with someone, you're fine. You can take care of yourself financially. You have people that love and support you, your friends, your family, people that you care about, colleagues. You are able to spend time doing things you love. And basically you fill yourself with other things so much that the absence of a significant other does not make you feel empty because you're full and you're whole. So be comfortable with being alone. Be comfortable with spending time on your own. Do you travel by yourself? I travel solo. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to be able to get back to it. Do you just up and leave and go on an adventure by yourself? Be comfortable being alone. It is in those times of being alone that you're able to discover yourself. You learn so much more about yourself by having those moments of solitude. There is absolutely nothing better than the moments I spend with myself, by myself, in my own space. I keep this plate here, I come back, I know it's going to be there. Nobody is going to touch it. Like, I love that. It's okay to be by yourself. It's okay to spend time with yourself. It's okay to be alone. Don't be sad because you're alone. Fill up your life and yourself with other things that the being alone doesn't feel lonely or sad. Of course, as a human being, right? Every once in a while you're like, oh my gosh. But overall, right? Let's say out of 100, be comfortable being alone that 90% of the time you're not feeling lonely because your life is full, Okay, so once again, be comfortable with being alone. It's in those moments that you grow. It's in those moments that you introspect. And it's in those moments that you learn so much more about yourself. The next thing that you absolutely have to do to be able to come into your own is to get uncomfortable and try new things. Yes, we love our comfort zone. As you can see, I have a comfort zone, right? We all have our comfort zone, but every now and again, please step out and try new things. Get uncomfortable, like literally up and move. I used to turn down outings because I'm just like, I want to be in bed. So get uncomfortable, get up and travel. Go to the next city, pack your bag, go on that solo adventure, explore, do things, right? Get uncomfortable. A lot of growth happens when you step out of your comfort zone, right? So yes, we talked about getting comfortable or being okay with being alone, but also step out of your comfort zone because that is a surefire way to grow. Try and surround yourself with people that don't think the same way you do. It might be a little uncomfortable, just a little bit, but eventually you learn to welcome different opinions and different ideas. Learn something new. Take a pottery class, right? What do I know about pottery? Absolutely nothing. But take a pottery class. Do you want to learn how to paint? Take a painting class. Do you want to learn how to sew? Brand new. Do something new. Learn a new skill. So, what are some of the practical ways that you can get uncomfortable and try new things? Well, you can move to a new place. Move to a brand new city. I've done that many, many, many times. Just pack your bag, find an opportunity, leave. Change your environment, right? You can also pick up a new hobby. Explore your interests, remember? Pick up a new hobby. You can also learn a new language. There is nothing more exciting than voulez-vous. Okay, let's just stop. Let's stop. But you get the point. Learn a new language. I speak 2 languages fluently and 2 languages sort of like, actually 2 languages fluently, 1 language conversational, pretty conversational, and I can understand, and another language I can understand very basics. So learn a new language, like, download Duolingo and all these other apps and learn a new language. Immerse yourself in another culture. That's what language does. You're able to immerse yourself in this unfamiliar culture and you're going to grow, right? Who knows, after you learn that language, you might pack your bags, book a trip, and go to the country of that language, So really challenge yourself. Pick up a new subject and learn something that you've always been curious about. When you do these things, trust me, you're just going to grow. Because when you become an expert, right? You get comfortable. And that's where a lot of us are. You studied whatever you're working in, or your career, you've been at it for some time, so you're like an expert in that thing. But when you up and transplant yourself to something else, you become a newbie again. You become a learner all over again. And it's exciting and it's nerve-wracking, and you need that combination of excitement and a little bit of trepidation to grow, to scale over to the next level. So get uncomfortable and try something new, learn something new, and there's so much adventure waiting for you. Okay, so now we're down to the last tip that I have for you. Had to save the best for last. Save the best. Okay, I'm gonna save your ears and your windows from cracking. I'm not gonna sing. But this last point is so important, so important, so valuable that I cannot overemphasize it enough. So what is it? Build your network. Am I screaming? Did I scream enough? Okay. The last point is build your network. Build your network. Those networking events are not there for fun. Like, I wish I could sort of chronicle my life to you, but I already did in my book. A lot of opportunities that I got early on in my life were unlocked through networking events, through an email, a flyer I saw, and I reached out to the contacts on the flyer, and they introduced me to someone, an email I opened, do a little search, reach out to this person, connect me to that person, boom, opportunity. So while people are out there applying, we've all been here, we've all done this, but while people are trying to go in through the application tab and submitting whatever needs to be submitted for said opportunity, you can take the easier road by networking. When you network and you sort of end up knowing the decision makers, guess what? You're in, 70% in. All you have to do is complete whatever formalities to eventually have that opportunity. If you're able to network your way to find the key decision makers, to get past the gatekeepers, in every industry there are gatekeepers. If you're able to network to the point where you unlock and you're connected to the gatekeepers, guess what? The gates will open for you. It has no choice. So network. Build your network. You don't know who. Someone is connected to someone. And when you're networking, guys, do not judge the book by its cover. I think this is a mistake people make. Some people look very normal, very small in your eyes, but they are probably the ones that are connected. They are probably the ones with the most connections. So in this game of networking, the worst mistake you can do is overlook anyone. Network. Be strategic. Have your elevator pitch. Know enough about yourself that you can deliver it in 30 seconds or less. Build your network. With every new interaction or connection you make, you're building your confidence. And I know some people are like, oh, I'm not good at networking events. Well, you will never be better if you don't step out and try. Send out that cold email. Go on LinkedIn. Find someone in your industry. Connect with them. Ask for advice. Speaking of asking for advice, guys, the easiest way to cozy up, should I use that word? The easiest way to be able to get someone to want to connect with you is asking for advice. And I read that recently. This is because people love to speak about what they know or speak about themselves. So when you come in from that perspective of someone that's curious, someone that wants to learn, someone that wants to grow, someone that wants to improve themselves, people like that. So when you ask, hey, blah, 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 how do you think I can make this better? How can I improve on whatever it is? Guess what? They're going to give you advice, free advice, guys, free advice that you can now take and grow yourself. And guess what? That person also then acts as an accountability partner subconsciously, because now they've given you this advice, and depending on you, if you follow up with them, now that person is invested in your growth and they want you to grow so much that if you reach back out and be like, oh, hey, I took the advice you gave me the last time, here's what I've done, what do you think? Boom, they give, before you know it, you are connected to this person. And then one day they get an opportunity, they're like, oh, guess what? This opportunity landed on my laps and I think you'd be perfect for this. How do they know that you are perfect? It's not just because you gave a 30-second elevator pitch, but it's because they have witnessed your growth. They've seen you being curious, right? So yes, connect. Yes, share your strengths when you're at these networking events or virtually, but a good strategy, especially if you're getting into new territory, unfamiliar territory, new territory, or a very competitive space, the best way to get in is to ask someone for advice. Just go in like this. Like even if you feel like now act like you don't even know. Like, guys, it's all a game. Like, I'm laughing because it sounds ridiculous, but it's all a game. And listen, I've battled a bit, but eventually I've had to accept that a lot of these things that we experience, it's all a game and you have to play the game. Of course, not doing anything bad, but playing the game as in know that you need to network, playing the game as in knowing the right things to say that will get you a response, not just saying things. We've all gone to events. Okay, you know what? We've all gone to events. Try and remember the last event you've gone to. You gave your elevator pitch. How many of those people are you still connected to? I'm listening. Very few. But imagine if you find that one or two people that you ask for their help and now they become invested in your life. Then you have a connection for life. Okay? So build your network professionally, academically, if you're a student, and if you're an entrepreneur, build that network of fellow entrepreneurs and doors will open up. People will just invite you for opportunities. I'm going to give you a good example I just remembered. So, wow. Like, it's a loop. Okay, stay with me. So in college, I got an email for an opportunity, applied for said opportunity, got into said opportunity, met people at said event, stayed connected with people. They started something. When they were launching, they needed help. I volunteered to help them, strategy, all of that. They launched. Many years later, they had an event. Guess what? When they launched and I would help them, I wasn't even in the same city as they were. Many years later, I moved, happened to be in their city. So when they had an event, I attended said event. Stay with me. At said event, I connect with photographer. Photographer gets an opportunity. Photographer calls me. Hey, you're a stylist. Wedding stylist. I have a wedding shoot. Opportunity. And we collaborate with other industry professionals on said opportunity. So remember, this started from many years ago when I was a college student taking engineering classes, and it extended through my business, right? Because this was a direct business opportunity. It all started from that email I opened in college and the networking event I attended. So guys, connections, building your network. Like, you remember when I was even describing earlier, I said someone will just remember you and refer you for the opportunity. That's literally what happens. When you connect with people and something falls on their laps, they are able to immediately think of you, right? So network until you stay top of mind. That's the goal. All right, so guys, this has been so amazing. I love to speak on things like this. I love self-improvement. I love self-development. And this is a topic that I'm so passionate about. Like I said, I recorded this many years ago, mistakenly deleted the clips from, the memory card that was holding it. And I had, the ending. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to upload an incomplete video. So I never uploaded it. But I'm just so happy that even though it's been 3 years or 4 years later, I've been able to also grow, right? Even beyond whatever it is that I said in that other video that I lost, I've now grown, gained more experiences, and I've been able to share with you guys. So I really hope that you found this video useful. I hope that you're able to apply 1 or 2 things that I've discussed in this video, because guess what, guys? We have to win. We have to win. We have to grow, okay? So be patient with yourself. I'm going to wrap this up with that beautiful bow, which is be patient with yourself. Growth does not happen overnight, right? Things that I've been struggling with for years, I'm probably still struggling with some of them today, but I am patient with myself. You're always going to learn and discover new things. So be patient with yourself and try your best to implement 1 or 2 of these tips, 1 or 2 at a time. see the difference it makes in your life, then pick up another 2, see the difference it makes, and eventually, guys, you're going to get to that place that you want to be at. So keep growing, keep building, and keep being patient with yourself. I wish you guys all the best as you grow into your own. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any other tips in the comments. I would love to chat with you, and I'll catch you in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, video done. Hey, 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 hey. I'm so happy I finally did this video. Hey. Good. Thank you. This was perfect. And stay connected with me on Instagram, on my website. I'm going to leave all my information below. Thank you so much, guys, and give this video a thumbs up so that I can keep making more. Your girl needs a little support, All right. Take care, guys. Bye.